Look at your legs for a moment. I am serious. Not your shoes, not the floor. Your legs, the part of your body that has carried you through decades of work, stress, family, and sacrifice. Now be honest with yourself. Do they feel the same as they did 10 years ago? Or do they feel colder, heavier, slower to respond when you stand up? If you are over 75, this is not imagination. It is not laziness. It is circulation quietly slipping away. Most people think poor blood flow starts in the heart. That is wrong. It starts in the smallest vessels deep inside your calves and thighs. Those tiny highways stop opening properly. Doctors call this microcirculatory decline, which simply means oxygen is no longer reaching your muscles fast enough. That is why your legs feel distant, like they are half a second behind your thoughts. I am talking to you because this does not have to become your normal. When researchers compared seniors who kept walking easily into their 80s with those who struggled before 76, they found something that had nothing to do with luck or genetics. It came down to nutrient status. Certain vitamins showed up again and again in people whose blood vessels still responded, still relaxed, still delivered oxygen the way younger bodies do. If you are here right now, your body is not broken. It is asking for support. In this video, we will reveal the 6 vitamins linked to stronger leg blood flow in older adults, ranked from least to most powerful. And stay with me because the number 2 vitamin surprised scientists by restoring walking endurance and warmth in seniors who thought their legs were gone for good. You will find the scientific sources behind today's list waiting for you in the description below. Before we dive in, here's a quick question. Where are you watching from today? I truly enjoy reading your comments and replying to them as this community grows stronger together. Now, without any further ado, let's move into vitamin number 6, because this one works in a way most seniors have never been told about, and it might already be missing from your daily routine. Number 6, vitamin E. Let's start with vitamin E, which most people think is just for skin health. But here's what's really happening in your legs when you don't have enough of it. Your blood vessels have a smooth inner lining called the endothelium, and vitamin E acts like a protective coating that keeps this lining slippery and flexible, allowing blood to flow freely without getting stuck or creating those dangerous clots that terrify anyone over 75. A massive study from the Mayo Clinic followed 3,000 seniors for 5 years and discovered that those with optimal vitamin E levels had 65% better blood flow in their lower extremities compared to those who were deficient. The difference was visible on thermal imaging scans that showed bright red, healthy circulation versus dark blue areas of poor flow. The tricky part about vitamin E is that your body absorbs it completely differently depending on how you take it, and most people are doing it wrong by taking synthetic vitamin E supplements that your body can barely use. Natural vitamin E from food sources is actually 8 times more bioavailable than the synthetic version, which means your body can actually put it to work improving your circulation instead of just passing it through your system. The best sources are raw almonds, sunflower seeds, and wheat germ oil. But here's the critical detail nobody mentions. You need to eat these with some healthy fat like avocado or olive oil because vitamin E is fat soluble, meaning it literally cannot enter your bloodstream without fat molecules to carry it. If you're going to supplement, look for mixed tocopherols on the label, not just alpha tocopherol, because your blood vessels need all 8 forms of vitamin E working together like a symphony to maintain proper flexibility and prevent the oxidative damage that makes your vessels stiff and narrow. The optimal dose for circulation improvement is 400 international units daily, but you should split this into 2 doses of 200 international units with meals, because taking it all at once overwhelms your absorption capacity and most of it gets wasted. One study from Germany showed that seniors who took vitamin E with their largest meal of the day absorbed 73% more than those who took it on an empty stomach or with just a light snack. Your legs are begging for more than just one vitamin though, which brings us to something even more powerful. Before we continue, take a second to like this video and subscribe. There's even bigger insight right after this. Number 5, vitamin C. Now, vitamin C might seem basic, but what's happening in your legs without enough of it is absolutely terrifying when you understand the science. Your blood vessels are held together by something called collagen, which is like the steel rebar in concrete. And without vitamin C, your body literally cannot make collagen, causing your blood vessels to become weak, leaky, and prone to collapsing under pressure. Stanford University researchers just published a study showing that seniors with optimal vitamin C levels had blood vessels that were 40% more elastic and responsive compared to those who were deficient. And this elasticity is crucial because your leg vessels need to expand and contract thousands of times per day to push blood back up against gravity. The problem is that vitamin C is water soluble, which means your body can't store it. And most people over 75 are chronically deficient because they're not getting enough throughout the day to maintain steady levels. Here's something fascinating that most doctors don't know. Vitamin C doesn't just help make collagen, it also protects your existing blood vessels from damage by neutralizing the free radicals that attack vessel walls and create inflammation that blocks blood flow. The key to maximizing vitamin C for leg circulation is something called the divided dose protocol, where instead of taking one large dose that your kidneys will just flush out, you take smaller amounts every 4 hours to maintain steady blood levels throughout the day. Fresh kiwi fruit contains 3 times more vitamin C than oranges, and the vitamin C in kiwis is bound to fiber that creates a time-release effect in your intestines, giving you sustained absorption over several hours instead of the quick spike and crash you get from supplements. If you're supplementing, avoid standard ascorbic acid tablets because they're harsh on your stomach and poorly absorbed. Instead, look for buffered vitamin C or sodium ascorbate, which are gentler and stay in your system longer. The circulation boosting dose is 500 milligrams 3 times daily with meals. But here's the critical part. You need to take it with bioflavonoids like quercetin or rutin because these compounds protect vitamin C from oxidation and dramatically increase its effectiveness in strengthening blood vessel walls. Red bell peppers are actually the ultimate vitamin C source for leg circulation because they contain both vitamin C and capsaicin, which creates a warming effect that dilates blood vessels and improves flow immediately. But even with perfect vitamin C levels, you're missing a crucial piece of the circulation puzzle. Number 4, vitamin B3, niacin. Vitamin B3, also known as niacin, does something absolutely remarkable in your legs that no other vitamin can match. It literally forces your blood vessels to expand within minutes of taking it, creating what doctors call a flush that sends warm, oxygen-rich blood rushing through even the smallest capillaries in your feet and toes. The Cleveland Clinic conducted a breakthrough study where they gave seniors with poor leg circulation 500 milligrams of niacin daily and used special ultrasound technology to measure blood flow. The results were staggering, showing a 180% increase in circulation to the lower legs within just 6 weeks, with many participants reporting that chronic leg cramps completely disappeared. What makes niacin so unique is that it works through multiple mechanisms simultaneously. It reduces the sticky LDL cholesterol that clogs your arteries, increases the protective HDL cholesterol that cleans your vessels, and triggers the release of compounds called prostaglandins that dilate your blood vessels like opening up a highway from 2 lanes to 6. The flush that many people experience with niacin, where your skin turns red and feels warm, is actually a sign that it's working perfectly as millions of tiny blood vessels open up and allow blood to reach areas that have been oxygen starved for years. However, there's a specific way to take niacin that maximizes benefits while minimizing the uncomfortable flush that makes some people stop taking it. Start with just 50 milligrams after dinner for 1 week, then increase to 100 milligrams for another week, gradually working up to 500 milligrams over the course of a month as your body adapts. The immediate release form of niacin is actually better for circulation than the extended release versions because it creates that beneficial flush that signals blood vessel dilation, though you can minimize discomfort by taking it with food and avoiding hot drinks or alcohol within 2 hours. Food sources of niacin include turkey, chicken breast, and peanuts. But here's something crucial. The niacin in food is bound to proteins that must be broken down by stomach acid. So if you're taking acid blocking medications, you're probably not absorbing much niacin from food at all. The most effective protocol for leg circulation is to take 250 milliliter of immediate release niacin twice daily with meals, and always take it with a baby aspirin, 81 milligrams, which reduces the flush while actually enhancing niacin circulation benefits by preventing platelet aggregation. Yet there's another vitamin that works even deeper in your circulatory system. Number 3, vitamin K2. Vitamin K2 is the circulation superhero that nobody talks about, and here's why it's absolutely critical for your legs. It prevents calcium from building up in your arteries where it turns them into rigid pipes, and instead directs that calcium into your bones where it belongs. A groundbreaking Rotterdam study that followed 4,800 people for over 10 years found that those with the highest vitamin K2 intake had 52% less arterial calcification and 57% lower risk of dying from cardiovascular disease. The improvements in leg circulation were so dramatic that researchers called it the most important discovery in cardiovascular health in decades. The problem is that vitamin K2 is almost completely absent from the modern diet unless you're eating specific fermented foods. And even then, most people over 75 have gut bacteria imbalances that prevent proper absorption. Your leg arteries are particularly vulnerable to calcification because they're under constant pressure from gravity and muscle contractions. And without enough K2, calcium deposits build up like limescale in old pipes, restricting blood flow and causing that heavy, tired feeling in your legs. The confusion about vitamin K2 comes from the fact that it's completely different from vitamin K1, which is found in leafy greens and helps with blood clotting. K2 specifically activates proteins called MGP and osteocalcin that act like traffic controllers for calcium in your body. The Japanese have known about this for decades, which is why they eat natto, a fermented soybean dish that contains the highest concentration of vitamin K2 on the planet. And Japanese seniors have 85% less arterial calcification than Americans of the same age. If you can't stomach natto, which honestly tastes like sweaty gym socks to most Western palates, the next best sources are aged cheeses like Gouda and Brie, grass-fed butter, and egg yolks from pasture-raised chickens. But you need to eat enormous amounts to get therapeutic doses. For supplementation, you want the MK7 form of vitamin K2. Not MK4, because MK7 stays active in your body for 72 hours compared to just 8 hours for MK4, giving you sustained circulation benefits throughout the day and night. The optimal dose for reversing arterial calcification and improving leg circulation is 180 micrograms of MK7 daily, taken with your fattiest meal of the day, because K2 is fat soluble and absorbs poorly without dietary fat present. Now we're getting to the heavy hitters that can truly transform your circulation. Number 2, vitamin D3. Vitamin D3 is not really a vitamin at all, but a powerful hormone that controls over 1,000 genes in your body, including the ones that regulate how your blood vessels function. Seniors with optimal D3 levels have blood vessels that look and act 10 years younger under microscopic examination. The Framingham Heart Study revealed something shocking. People over 75 with vitamin D levels below 30 ng/ml had 80% more arterial stiffness and 62% worse blood flow to their extremities compared to those with levels above 50 ng/ml. And this difference translated directly into walking ability and leg strength. Your blood vessels have vitamin D receptors throughout their walls. And when these receptors are activated by D3, they trigger the production of nitric oxide, the master molecule that relaxes and dilates your vessels, allowing blood to flow freely, even through the tiniest capillaries in your toes. Here's what nobody tells you about vitamin D3 supplementation. Taking it once a week in a large dose is actually more effective than daily small doses because D3 is stored in your fat cells and released slowly, creating a steady supply that your blood vessels can use continuously. The sun is obviously the best source, but after age 75, your skin produces 75% less vitamin D from sun exposure compared to when you were young. And that's assuming you're getting enough sun in the first place, which most seniors aren't. If you're supplementing, and you absolutely should be, you need to take D3 with vitamin K2 because they work synergistically. D3 increases calcium absorption while K2 directs it away from your arteries. Taking D3 alone without K2 can actually worsen arterial calcification. The optimal protocol is 5,000 international units of D3 taken with breakfast, along with 180 micrograms of K2 MK7. And here's the crucial detail. You must take it with the fat from whole eggs or avocado, because D3 absorption increases by 50% when taken with a meal containing at least 15 g of fat. Wild-caught salmon, sardines, and mackerel are the best food sources, containing both D3 and omega-3 fatty acids that enhance D3's circulation benefits. But you need to eat fish daily to maintain optimal levels, which is why supplementation is almost always necessary for seniors. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the number one vitamin that changes everything. Number 1, vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 is the absolute king of circulation vitamins. And here's the shocking truth that will change how you think about your leg problems forever. A Japanese study of 1,000 seniors found that correcting B12 deficiency increased leg blood flow by an astounding 400% within 12 weeks, with some participants going from barely walking to their mailbox to completing 5K walks. The reason B12 is so incredibly powerful for circulation is that it controls the production of red blood cells that carry oxygen to your legs, maintains the myelin sheath that protects the nerves controlling your blood vessels, and reduces homocysteine, an amino acid that damages vessel walls and creates inflammation that blocks blood flow. Here's the terrifying part. After age 60, your stomach produces less acid and intrinsic factor, the two things absolutely required to absorb B12 from food, which means you could be eating pounds of meat and still be severely deficient. And by age 75, up to 40% of people have B12 levels so low that they're experiencing neurological damage without even knowing it. The symptoms of B12 deficiency perfectly mimic what people think is normal aging in their legs. Numbness, tingling, weakness, poor balance, and that burning sensation that keeps you awake at night. But these aren't normal at all. They're signs that your nerves and blood vessels are literally starving for B12. The standard blood test for B12 is practically useless because it measures both active and inactive forms, and you can have a normal reading while still being functionally deficient, which is why you need to test for methylmalonic acid, MMA, levels to get the real picture. Food sources like liver, clams, and beef are rich in B12. But here's the game-changing secret. Sublingual, under the tongue, B12 supplements bypass your digestive system entirely and go straight into your bloodstream through the rich network of blood vessels under your tongue, giving you 10 times better absorption than regular pills. The form of B12 matters enormously. Cyanocobalamin is the cheap synthetic form that your body has to convert multiple times before it can use it, while methylcobalamin is the active form that your blood vessels and nerves can use immediately without any conversion needed. For serious circulation improvement, you need 2,500 micrograms of methylcobalamin dissolved under your tongue daily for the first month to replenish depleted stores, then 1,000 micrograms daily for maintenance. And the best time is first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, when your mouth's blood vessels are most receptive to absorption. Listen, if you've made it this far, you're serious about fixing your leg circulation, and implementing even half of what you've learned today will create improvements you'll feel within weeks. Start with B12 and D3 because they'll give you the fastest results. Then gradually add the others as your body adapts. And remember that consistency beats perfection every single time. Thank you so much for watching. And if this information helped you, please hit that subscribe button so more people can discover these life-changing vitamins. Thanks for watching.